Hey, you know who it is. It's your boy, Lil Simi, here to talk to you about my hit rap song, Read All Day. So, I made this rap song after I read this book called Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And it starts off by introducing you to this guy named Daryl and his family and like how he lives on Mars. And on Mars, there's like different kinds of people. There's like these red people who are like pretty low class, and then there's like these golds who are all the way up there, you know? And then he everything's like good for Daryl until him and his wife gets killed for singing a song that she shouldn't have been singing, and then they end up trying to kill him too, but he gets saved by this terrorist organization that's trying to help the Reds out, and they decide to change him into gold, like they said. There's much work to be done on this rusty body of yours if we are to make you into a gold, and so they decide to turn him into a gold and send him to a school where they will go to war with their fellow students to dominate the valley by any means necessary. That means they're basically fighting each other to like find out who's the best students. And in this, he finds like a girl and goes like he's in love with her. You know, he's mad in love, and he decides he wants to spend the rest of his life with her, but he knows he might end up having to kill her later in the battle. But they find a way to get through it, and both of them survive at the end. And they beat that girl's sister, who is like basically the president of Mars, his son, who like people were cheering, like the main people were cheating for him to win, but Daryl still ended up winning, and because of that, he ended up getting a bunch of offers, and he's most likely going to become a great gold person and help this Reds out. Read all day. Read all day. Don't go out and play. I just read all day. Basically, I just read this book and it was like crazy because like all my friends would be coming over trying to ask me to go play outside, and I was like, no, I can't. I couldn't put this book down. It was like the best book ever. Like it was just crazy. 15, read my first book. Red Rising, yeah, I was shook. Yeah, so good I had to read it twice. That's how you know it was extra nice. Idioms, metaphors, imagery, figurative languages for you and me. So this book is like great. I mean, the writing is like the best I ever heard, and the author uses figurative languages like to perfection. Like, just listen. You're quite annoying, with all due respect, Proctor. I mean, that's like the best way to use an idiom. Pierce Brown, yeah, he'll make you cry. Put a tear right in your eye. Yeah. So Pierce Brown, he made me feel like he got me deep in my feelings while I read this book. Sometimes I just had to like put the book down because I just had to stop for a second, like, whoa, you really just went there. And like he uses like rich syntax and like a bunch of conventions to show this. Like when he said, "I did not kill him. I did not kill him." This like shows Daryl said it twice, trying to convince himself how like he didn't want to kill him, and it shows how guilty he was that he tried to convince himself that he didn't kill him, and it was something else that happened. Pierce Brown's skills, yeah, they can't be beat. Rappers think that but they really just clowns. I mean, Pierce Brown has like skills. I mean, he makes all these other rappers look terrible. Like if you just read the conventions he uses, like he wrote the word bloody damn in like italics just to emphasize how mad Daryl was at the arch governor. He also punctuates a lot of his quotations correctly, and he uses a lot of quotations in this book. I mean, I'd expect him to like forget once or twice, but he actually did it the whole time. Pierce Brown makes 100,000. That's just in a day. Number one best-selling author. The rest of y'all can hang. You know, Pierce Brown. He reminds me of me. You know, makes 100,000 a day. I mean, that's about close to me. Like this right here, that's like $2 million right there. This right here, that's $4 million. You know, this right here, that was $10 million. None of this fake. You know, and then number one best-selling author. I'm the number one rapper, so I gotta be reading the number one author, you know? I can't read any of these, like, losers, you know? I have to read the greatest author, and that's Pierce Brown. Uses metaphors that are way too advanced. I am Darvish Scythe, page 135. Personifications, foreshadowing similes. He uses them all. The door squeals shut. That my brother Karen was supposed to be the stoic one. Proper nouns, yeah, that's just on page 1. Pierce Brown, like, he uses foreshadowing and a bunch of like figurative languages. He used foreshadowing like on page 1 whenever he said, I whenever he says, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war, you know, basically showing what's gonna happen in the rest of his book. Then he also uses similes when he says, bitterness wells in me like bile rising from stomach to throat as I see picture his face, you know. That's just showing Daryl. He's like gets super mad whenever he thinks of the arch governor after what he did, you know. So he's great at using this, and then he also uses metaphors. He uses proper nouns, and he does this all throughout the book. Great at showing background info. You know everything by page 29. Miss Stevens saying, yeah, she made me read this book. Yeah, you know by the beginning I was already hooked. So like this book, you already like he explains the characters. Pierce Brown gets straight to the point. You don't really need to like read for too long, and then it gets interesting really fast. And then Miss Stevenson, shout out to her. She made me read this book because like I couldn't find it on SparkNotes, so I actually had to read it this time. Shout out Genius. You already know who it is. It's your boy Lil Simi, and I hope we get this 10 million views, 13,000 likes, just so we can reach Pierce Brown. Maybe get on my next rap song. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, peace.